Listen, I don't think Angie's saying this unless that she has receipts for it.
No, I totally believe you. I don't think Angie would have said anything if it weren't true. She must have receipts.
Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode number 4, Petty Little Liars. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. Again, I went to watch it on Peacock and it was like episode. Yeah. So what episode is this?
4, probably said
Right.
8.
It says 7. I
It says
actually
7.
typed in 7 because of the Watch What Happens Live. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, I know. Somebody else was saying, Ryan Bailey, he was saying that too.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. We start out where we left off with the clarity lunch, and Bronwyn is telling Lisa that she asked you a question and you're hurling insults, referring to Whitney, because Whitney's left the room. She hasn't actually left the party, but she just removed herself from the room at that point. And Lisa's like, nice twist. And Bronwyn said, no, you're hurling insults. And it's true. She is hurling insults.
She goes very low. I mean, not that they all don't, but she's just that kind of person. Like, she can't articulate very well and she's not that well spoken. So when she gets caught off guard and jammed up, that's what she does. It's very just like Tamara.
Yes.
She just starts yelling insults over and over. And she thinks if she's the loudest, she wins and the whole thing.
Yeah. So Whitney in her confessional, said if Lisa wants to, clear up these allegations, really all she needs to do is answer our questions. But instead, she's acting like an irrational toddler. And she said, I'm not gonna stoop to her level. I'm just gonna remove myself from the situation, which she did. She left the room and just wait until she's acting like a toddler, so she'll tire herself out.
That was so funny.
It was funny.
I loved Whitney's confessional look with the lime green dress.
I like her in green.
Yeah, she looked really good. That was a great look for her.
Lisa then starts attacking Angie. She says, you only own 1.5 salons. Okay.
It doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make any sense at all. I'm like, what are you talking about?
And okay, so she owns 3 of them, which I'm sure are her and Sean together. And then she has franchises, but doesn't she make money off of the franchises?
Of course she does.
Yeah,
of course she does.
It doesn't even make sense.
Right. And Angie said she's proud of what she built. And she explained it. I have 3, and then, I have the other ones are franchises.
Yeah.
Angie said, you lie. And in her confessional, she said, I finally figured out Lisa's tactics. She lies to deflect, which I agree with.
Yes.
And makes everyone else her target. Because really, the whole thing that she was mad about with Angie is what Bronwyn started. Bronwyn started the whole conversation about the lawsuits, which is what we were there for, right?
Right, but she wanted everybody to defend her. Like, she wanted everybody to shut it down.
Right.
She doesn't want to be shut down when she's talking smack about everybody else. But when somebody's talking about her, she wants it to be shut down.
So then
I don't even think Meredith did anything wrong on the camping trip. She said, Lisa's not here to defend herself. That's all Meredith had to say.
I mean, honestly, this is episode 4, and Meredith has said very little.
Very little.
Total.
Very little.
Even in her little one-on-ones, she's very, very quiet so far, which honestly, I'm quite all right with.
I think she got a lot of heat last year because of the whole Alibaba thing. So I think she's treading very lightly. I know we'll get to it, but her daughter is gorgeous.
Yeah, she is.
She and Seth make very good looking kids.
Yeah, she really is very pretty.
Yeah, I know we'll get there.
So then Angie brings out the big line, you do French fries and I do franchises. I don't know if you saw, but Wendy's jumped in on this.
I did see it.
I'm here for it. I'm so here for it.
So funny. What they say, won't be scheduling any appointments at Angie's hair salon.
1.5 salons. I think we'll be canceling our appointment at Angie's 1.5 salons.
That was actually very funny.
It's like that is great.
Oh my God.
So then Angie brings up, like, let me ask you this. Like, I invested in your son's company to support your family. I brought his product into my salon. Why aren't you spending your time, promoting that and marketing that instead of, trying to peddle uh, yourself
Carousel.
to, yeah, yeah. I mean, and she's been working with them for 26 years. 26 years
Who,
Angie has been.
Lisa?
No, Angie. Angie.
Kerastasi.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. She
I
said,
mean,
I've
Lisa
had,
loses her mind.
I know.
You're questioning everything I do. Like, I was very caught off guard with that reaction from her.
Right. They love my shiny, pretty hair. I didn't peddle it. They came to me. Okay, Lisa, come on. And then Angie calls her son's line a C line. I mean, listen, it probably didn't belong on her shelves because it's a men's grooming line. I mean, maybe, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, salons carry all different kinds of things,
Yeah.
but it's all self-care.
Right.
I mean, that wasn't particularly nice. But, I mean, compared to what Lisa was saying, you own one
Right.
and a half of your salons. I mean,
Right. Yeah. I mean, I loved when she said it belongs in Walmart.
yeah. I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with Walmart, but when somebody has what they think is an upscale line, they're not gonna appreciate that.
Well, after she said it belongs in Walmart, Lisa completely lost it. She is questioning and she's pointing, you're questioning every effing thing I do. And she's like pointing, literally acting like a lunatic.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And this is when Meredith finally steps in and says, well, nobody wants to hear that their business called a C-level business. Can you just admit it wasn't nice? I'm like, that's what you have to add to this whole conversation?
Thing is like nobody's telling Lisa to not say certain things except now Heather. Heather finally chimes in. But Meredith, you're going to tell Angie not to say what she said, but you're not going to hold Lisa accountable for what she just said? Like, you can't have different standards. This is the problem with what Housewives has become. Like, the alliances. And then, nobody's calling anybody out, or the right people aren't calling the right people out on what they're doing.
Right. No, I totally agree. So, I mean, this is what my thoughts are on Heather. Let me know what you think your thoughts are. So, the fact that she jumps in with, I'd like a word. I felt that you were unfairly attacked when we were camping. You were not there to defend yourself. I understand your desire to clear your name, but for you to go low and to count her franchises and count her money, and then Angie, you just flipped it right back on her about her sons and their sea line. I feel like this is what Heather likes to do. These like rehearsed speeches,
100%.
her like monologues where she's the one who's going to like rally the girls around her and she's the one who's going to bring it all back around. Like, this is what she does every season. Don't
And
you
I
think?
totally agree with you about the rehearse, like
Yeah.
receipts, timelines.
Right.
She definitely stays up all night thinking of what she can say and
I think this whole
rehearses it.
thing, I think this
Yeah.
whole thing was totally rehearsed.
Definitely.
Heather says to Lisa, "You're fearless. You're a strong person. When you're on someone's side, you're invincible. But when you're against somebody, you feel completely vulnerable." I was like, "Oh God!" And then Lisa's like,
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
"I know." And Heather's like, "I get it. I felt vulnerable." And Lisa's like, "Well, I feel vulnerable too." And Mary
Like,
said, "Well,
maybe they had this whole thing planned out before they even got there. She and Heather, Lisa and Heather.
yeah. I mean, maybe they did. Maybe they did." Because that's when she starts crying. Like, then she starts crying. And Mary's like, well, you don't show it that you feel vulnerable. But then she goes with her other classic line. Well, I grew up so different than everybody else, so it looks differently to you guys, but I'm very vulnerable.
Why did she say she grew up different? Like,
Because
didn't she grow up on Long Island?
the same reason that she lives a different life than everybody else. She's doing big things.
Yeah, she's really ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. She's just ridiculous.
And then even the, Angie, I love you. I'm very sensitive when it comes to you. And, she puts her hands in the air. She's like, I'm being extremely vulnerable. I'm like, oh my God, this is such bad acting.
Yeah, like it did a total 180. And then Angie was like, and I love you too.
Right. Right.
Like, it's like, what just happened?
I know. And they kumbaya, right? And like they end it, right? They hug each other, they end it. I'm like, okay, good. We're done with this.
Right. We think we're going to move on.
Yeah.
We
No.
are not done.
No. And it's just, honestly, it's exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
It really is exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, like even she and Bronwyn just try to, she knows she hurt her, Lisa. They know they hurt each other, and then
Yeah.
so they seem, they seem okay.
Honestly, I mean, my literal notes are, I call bullshit. I just call
Yeah.
bullshit. I feel like that whole clarity lunch was totally staged. I thought Heather, kind of rehearsed this on her own, but maybe you're right. Maybe her and Lisa got together
That's
and
what it sounds
said,
like.
yeah, like, this is what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they really were moving on, that would be great. But then, well, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So then she says to Bronwyn, that those two need to do, they have more work to do, but she wants to have a one-on-one conversation with Bronwyn, which I kind of agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Bronwyn says, listen, I want to say this clearly in front of everybody. I did not take any pride in talking about this stuff. I just want you to stop talking about me. I know that I hurt you. I know that you hurt me. And when you're ready to say that, I think that's when we can move forward. And I'm glad that she said that. Honestly, I feel like her and Mary, I mean, I think Mary says what she means too. But I
Yes.
feel like the other ladies just don't. They say what is called for at the moment for the scene.
Right. Definitely for the scene.
Right?
Yes.
Like Bronwyn
Yes.
I believed when she said that. Like, listen, and even when she admits, like, I went in hard on you. I tried, I was hurting you. The things I said were hurtful. Lisa will never admit that. Like, she'll never, they do their toast to friends. Their luncheon is over. Then we see Seth, Meredith, and Chloe at the Meredith Marks store. And they're discussing how they're going to redo the store. So it's like a little jewelry store in the front, and then you go through this like speakeasy door and it becomes a caviar lounge. I guess she's really doing well with her caviar, which is
Yeah.
great. I think that sounds like a cool idea. I wonder if there's going to be like cocktails with the caviar.
I would imagine so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how liquor licenses work in Utah, but did you see where Heather McDonald was like, oh, Meredith, like, I forget what she was spending, because I guess Meredith did like a tour of her rented house right now.
$10 a month. I did. I mean, I saw
And
her
Heather
tour.
was calling her out like, you don't make that much money. And Meredith kind of clapped back and was like, don't worry about what I make. I'm fine.
I didn't know.
She did. It was pretty good too. Listen, I don't blame her. Who the fuck is Heather McDonald to say she can't afford that? And listen, by the way, she's only renting the house 3 months out of the year. We know she doesn't live there otherwise.
Yeah, but still $70,000 a month for 3 months.
I think it's ridiculous, but
I think honestly, yeah. I mean, listen, Heather's Heather.
Cost that.
Well, that's what they said. I mean, it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's in a very expensive area, obviously.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not a huge Meredith fan, but I'm glad she clapped back.
No, I would too. I mean, you have to, right?
Yeah.
So Heather and Mary then go out to lunch, and Heather said that she drank too much yesterday. This was so funny. She's like, yeah, I drank your tequila. I drank Angie's tequila. And Mary's like, I don't like the taste of tequila. It tastes like medicine. She's like,
hospital, she said.
It tastes like hot. But first she said medicine. Then she said, it tastes like a hospital.
Okay.
Heather says, so hospital has a taste? Mary said, well, all smells have a taste. Like, when someone passes gas and your mouth is open. I was like, Mary.
Yeah, she says some off the wall stuff sometimes.
She really does. She really does. Honestly, I like it though.
Me too.
I like it. Then we see Whitney and Justin, and they're putting up her stripper pole again.
They're so cringy, these two. They're so incredibly cringy.
Yeah, it's a little, it's
and then
a little
she's
much.
talking about how it was like the talk in the pickup line at school that she had a pole in her house. Like, listen, I am a let your flag fly kind of girl. I don't care what you do you? But I don't know if that's something to be proud about, that your kids, friends, parents, like your kids' schoolmates. So basically everyone in the school knows that you're swinging on a pole. I don't know. It's not a big deal to have a pole in your house at all, but I don't know if I would be boasting about the fact that people were talking about it. Like, I don't think it's a flex.
I definitely don't think it's a flex.
Yeah.
No.
Like, keep that private.
Yeah, I think that she just likes to put a little bit of shock value out there, you know.
But it's not. It's like
No,
cringe.
it is. I agree with you. I agree. Bronwyn meets up with Lisa at Lisa's Vita Tequila Lounge, and we find out that she had launched that last June. I'm glad we got that information because we had seen it already earlier, but I
Yeah.
was like, "Where did that come from?" Like, I had no idea. So, she clarified that she's had people there for Sundance and on stage and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's a partnership with like, a local business that they're calling the Vita Tequila Lounge. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, like a
Jax's
kinda like a
bar?
Jack's thing.
Yeah.
Exactly, where he
Yeah.
just had the back patio.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't
maybe
know.
they just have her sign up.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Lisa admits that she really wanted to talk to Bronwyn one-on-one because, the things that she had to talk to her about were personal and private. And Lisa starts with saying that damaging things were said, and I'm sorry about those. And she said she really thinks stems from you being hurt about our friendship and me being hurt about our friendship. I think what Lisa was saying, and I think that this is true, kind of where it did really go off the rails, is when Bronwyn wound up confiding in her about Gwen's father, and
Yeah.
then she realized that Lisa knows the grandparents, and I guess she had asked Lisa to have a conversation with them, and obviously it didn't go very well. But then when Lisa made those comments that on national TV that she said that she had a miscarriage, those are horrible words to hear.
Yeah.
She was on the, like Bronwyn said, she
Because
was
you're
on the
insinuating that she lied,
right,
that she faked
right, right. And to put that out there in the public, like, that's horrible.
when you know her daughter.
Right,
That
right.
was really bad.
It was. It really was. And I think that's what, for Bronwyn, made her, like, lose all respect for her friendship with Lisa when those words came out.
And, listen, we all know people like this. I think Lisa's one of these people. When they're caught doing something wrong and they really know they did something wrong, they can't apologize. So it's like they get even meaner. Like they push you away. They do something to push you away even more because they know they were wrong. They can't apologize. They just don't have it in them.
Right.
But it seems like she's getting there.
Well, that's the whole thing is you're exactly right because that's when she really started going in heavy on her with everything else. And
Yep.
she really started attacking her first for the jewelry.
Yeah.
You didn't buy the jewelry and they contacted me. And, then what she confided in her, about her American Express bill and Todd, and she just weaponized
For
information.
sure. Yep.
Instead of had she just apologized, like, when it happened, like, I feel like this wouldn't have grown into what it is at this
No,
point,
not
right?
at all. Right. Right.
So
And Bronwyn, like, she said that, like, she and Gwen are in a good place about where they're at with Gwen's father's parents,
right,
and they feel like they can move on now, and it's
right,
over. So, clearly, this young girl does not have a relationship with her grandparents.
right. But she's okay with that, and that's really all that matters,
That's
right?
all that matters, for
Right.
sure.
And listen, I even liked, and this is yet another thing I really like about Bronwyn. She's like, I want to be really clear. At the beginning, what happened. Like, I am grateful that you even went and spoke to them and that you jeopardized your relationship with them. Like, I had nobody to talk to about this. Like, you were the only person that I ever even talked to about this. And Lisa's like, no, I know that, like, you even texted me that. So honestly, the fact that she had already texted her that, and then Lisa still did what she did just kind of blows my mind. But
Yeah, I know.
that's what I like about Bronwyn is, one, she is very articulate. She's very calm when she speaks to somebody, even if it's negative, whatever it is, she's very, like, matter of fact about it.
Yeah. She's rational.
Yeah. Yeah, she really is. So they both apologize. They agree to not speak about each other's husbands because that's Lisa's gripe that you speak about John. What did she say about John? I never heard her say anything about John.
I don't think she was the one who said something about
No, I don't
John,
either. No.
unless we're missing something. Somebody said something about John, but I thought that was Meredith or Angie. Angie said the thing last year about John.
So then Bronwyn, after they birthday cheers and they're okay. She's telling Lisa that, Gwen's still at home and her boyfriend moved in, and she's like, "Oh, my mom is living there too." Um, and she's telling her that, her and Gwen had a disagreement the other day, and that really, like, triggered her mom, which she was surprised to see because her mother was never like that with her, and we see it now. Her mother still is not like that with her.
Her mother, we could do a whole show on her.
We really could. We really could.
Yeah, and she said she's trying to be less rigid, um, because she doesn't want to be like her mom.
Right, I don't blame her.
I don't blame her either, for crying out loud.
No.
And I don't like to talk about people's parents, but this woman should not be on a reality TV show. Her mother should not be on reality TV. She is doing her mother no favors by putting her on that camera.
I mean, let's hope that she is, actually. Let's hope that her mother sees this.
I don't know if her mother's the self-reflective type, but I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I do too. I hope that
I
she
hope
does.
I'm wrong.
I mean, my next note was I really hope this lasts, but I have a feeling it doesn't.
What, Mary and Bronwyn? I mean, Lisa and
Lisa
Bronwyn.
and Bronwyn, yeah.
Shall see.
Next, we see Mary and her cousin Big Joe, and they arrive at the Faith Temple Pentecostal Church, and Mary is dressed in her regal purple, Birkin and all. I mean, she was very purpled
I
out.
forgot to look that up because I know that the colors mean something. I don't know if that's all. I mean, I know Catholic's a little bit different. It's all Christian though.
Right, right.
I don't know if purple means ordinary time. Ordinary time is when there's not something major going on, like Lent or Advent.
Right, right.
So I forgot to look that up. If what
I bet
purple
you it
meant.
does. I bet you it does mean something.
Mm-hmm.
So she's saying that the church was remodeled. It's funny because Heather McDonald talks about this too. And she's talked about it for a while. She went to
She
this
went
church.
there, right? Yeah,
Right. She
I
went
remember
there
that. Yeah.
when it was closed. So they say that it was remodeled, but I'll be honest with you, it didn't really look any different.
She said, "Are these new pews?" And he said, "Some of them."
Did
So
they
I
look
guess their
new?
remodel meant like zhuzhed it up and like fix things that needed to be fixed.
I don't know. To me, it didn't look like it was remodeled.
Yeah.
I think that that is a cover for because I think that there was a scandal there. I think that there was a reason they were closed, and I
There had
I don't think we're ever going to talk about it, but I'm okay with that because I really don't want to talk about it.
I don't wanna know either. Yeah, I don't.
I thought that picture of her grandmother hanging on the wall with Jesus, I don't know, a little interesting, but okay.
She thought very highly of herself, the grandmother.
Yes, yes, she did. So when she's talking to Big Joe, she in her confessional, she's like, Big Joe's family, and he's the general contractor here, so he kind of like, takes his time and milks it. She's like, it took him a whole year to put in new floors upstairs. I was like, okay, okay, Big Joe.
That may or may not be true. Maybe like you said, they weren't renovating and they were trying to wait out a scandal and Big Joe's taking the fall down.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Big Joe's the fall guy.
Yeah. So she's talking to him and she says, her son Robert's even excited about the church reopening. And, Big Joe points to the altar. He's like, well, I remember when he first started walking right over there.
Yeah.
And, Mary, she's like, yeah, yeah. She remembers it also. And then he gets emotional. He gets emotional. He's like, how's he doing? She's like, at least now, she's like, we're 100 times closer now than I've ever been before. She's like, and now at least I know, like, I'm fully aware of what's going on. So, she's like, there's nothing she can do, right? She just can be there for him at this point.
Absolutely. And, I thought it was interesting. She said her grandmother called her and said, "It's time for you to come back and be saved." I guess her grandmother's health was failing, I'm sure. I would imagine that's what prompted it because that's when I'm sure they had the discussion about she being with Robert Sr., which by the way, we did the research and Robert Sr. was 20 years younger than her grandmother. So I think he's only about, I know only sounds like a stretch, but he's only about 20 years older than Mary. Like he was in the middle of their ages. So it's
Right.
not so outlandish. And I'm sure he wasn't like, pushing her on the swings. I don't know. Let's hope not. But anyway, but I was thinking to myself, like, I would imagine Robert Jr. would be next in line to take over this church when the
Yeah.
time comes, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
So
I guess so. I thought that when her grandmother called her, it was because she was about the same age as Robert, and she was not going to church and was kind of wayward herself, and her grandmother was
maybe,
calling her back, like,
maybe you're right.
to
Yeah, I
come
read
back.
it.
I mean, I don't know, though. You could be right too, because, I mean, I think that I think her hope is that once the church opens up again and Robert does come back, that he will find his way. It will help him.
Yeah,
He'll be surrounded by a lot of, a lot of people that love him, right? I would
yeah.
hope.
Did you see her on Watch What Happens Live?
I did not.
I don't remember a lot. She was very funny. She was on there with Adam Pally. They were a good duo. But Andy does ask her, "How is Robert Jr.?" And she said, "I can honestly tell you, he's doing well." Because he said, "I know that he just got into some trouble." She said, "Yep, but he had to go through it. He had to go through it to get to this point." So she said he's doing well. So I was really happy to hear that.
That's good. That's good
Yeah,
news. And sometimes that is true. You have to fall before you
absolutely.
can rise,
Yep,
And sometimes you got to fall a couple times. That's honestly how life works, right?
exactly.
And she talks about it again, even though we all knew, that her grandmother wanted her to marry her grandfather, and Robert Sr. just was carrying out the wishes of his wife. It's not like he wanted to marry Mary, but that's what, his wife wanted. So that's what he did.
Right.
But then they go on to talk about, which this part I didn't know. I mean, we knew that her mother wanted it and didn't want Mary to have it, but I didn't know she showed up at the church and they had to call the police,
Well, I
like in
don't
the
think we ever heard that before this
in the middle of
episode.
service, right?
Yeah, and they escorted her out.
Yeah,
And now so she said now it's full circle because now I guess her mother passed away.
yeah.
But, I do remember when the show first started, I do remember her mother putting stories out, like her mother
Mhm.
doing interviews, right? Remember that?
Yes, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And she said her mom walked out of her life and, I gave her what she wanted. She didn't want to ever speak to me again. So I didn't. And with her mom's passing, she feels like, I guess, like she feels like it's closed, like that chapter is closed. And, there's nobody else to come after her at this point, right? Like she's where she's supposed to be. And
I wonder
I,
if she has any siblings. I mean, I just remember her telling somebody, like, her mom, like, there was no food in the refrigerator. Like, it's not like they didn't have the means. Her mother just didn't do that. Like, her mother didn't provide. Her mother wasn't a mom.
yeah, I mean, it's so weird because I don't know how much she did tell us about her mom, except for, like you said, that she wanted the church. And the only thing I remember about her dad was, and I don't even know if they were still together at the time, that her dad lived by
Jeffrey Dahmer.
yes, yes,
I don't think her parents were together because that was,
right?
like, a different state.
Yeah. That wasn't it Milwaukee? Didn't they go to Milwaukee?
Yes, 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 yes.
Right? So I don't know. I don't really know a lot about that, how she exactly grew up, but it doesn't sound like it was great.
No, I remember her telling somebody that about her mom, like, "There was no food in my refrigerator, nobody was packing me a lunch in the morning."
You know who she told it? She told Bronwyn that. Remember.
Yeah,
Yes, when when Bronwyn first came in with her red heart jacket and she called it a costume. Wait, did she call it a costume? No,
Brittany.
Brittany
Brittany
called it a
called it a
costume.
costume,
Brittany
yeah.
calls it a costume. And Mary was afraid that Bronwyn was gonna come to her. Oh, no, it was Brittany that she told it to, actually, right?
Yeah, yes,
It
yes.
was Brittany because she was afraid that Brittany was gonna come to her house and, like, would put
Food in her
bread in her
purse or something.
pockets.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
crazy.
So then we see Angie's at her salon and Heather comes in because poor Angie let her cosmetology license lapse. So now she
Okay,
has to.
I gotta tell you something. This is
Okay.
very odd to me, unless things are different in Utah, but you don't have to have a license to own a salon. I mean, you know that, your parents own a
No, no,
salon.
no, you don't.
However, if you're a hairdresser, it's only a matter of paying every year. You just pay, but you have to let that lapse in New Jersey because unfortunately I'm an idiot and I did it. If you let it lapse for 5 years, you have to be retested. So that means she just didn't pay for 5 years. Like, why would you do that? Unless she's just not a hairdresser, but I don't know
I mean,
why. Like, why would you pretend you are? You don't have to be a hairdresser to own a salon. Obviously, you're very successful.
think she probably just didn't pay for 5 years because
So
she
weird
wasn't
to
doing
me.
hair. Like, she just wasn't
Yeah.
thinking, you know? The weird thing is because her husband's a hairdresser, right?
Right.
So I wonder if he let his lapse. Probably not, because he's probably
Probably not.
still actually doing hair. I don't know that she actually does hair anymore. But anyway, so she has to retest. So she was practicing on Heather, putting perm rods in.
And by the way, if that were a real practical test for cosmetology, she would have failed because those things were so crooked.
Oh,
They
I
were
didn't
like
even
hanging
notice.
off of Heather's head.
They're supposed to be straight, I guess.
Yes, tight, tight.
Okay. So, but the tea she brings up is that the lady that came into her salon the other day, very pretty young, and she was very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, Lisa's assistant, and she wanted me to stop by and pick up the Fresh Wolf products. And Angie's like, wait, what? Okay. So, of course, they weren't on the shelf. They were downstairs in the basement, which I would expect because they had been there for, was it 2 years or 3 years?
Yeah, but why weren't they on the shelf? Like, my feeling is, did Heather somehow find out that they weren't on the shelf and that's why she sent someone?
You mean Lisa?
Lisa, sorry. Why I keep calling Lisa Heather tonight.
I don't know.
I mean, why would you just out of the blue send somebody there for that?
Well, because Angie made it known at the luncheon that she spent money and that they were at her salon. So she assumed if they were at her salon, they were on the shelf. But
Right.
but
Like, and why weren't they?
well, because
Like, if you're
probably
complaining, then why aren't they on the shelf?
because they probably weren't selling. And she's like, "Why am I keeping these up here?" Like,
Yeah, I
you
have
know,
other product that'll sell.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say shelf space is kind of a premium, and if it's not a product you're believe in or you're pushing, why have it out? I probably
Right.
would have had it in the basement too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she gives, she gives it to her, and of course they're dusty because they were in the basement. And she gets a text message from Lisa that says $600 Venmo sent. I can send my cleaners to help you. Sorry, your salon is so dusty. Now that is the most. First of all, her sending her is passive aggressive, but
Mhm.
that text message was really passive aggressive. Actually, it was just aggressive.
Absolutely.
There was nothing.
Yeah.
There was nothing passive. It was just
Passive about
aggressive.
it.
It was just
Exactly.
aggressive. You just squashed everything. Why? Just why? Why do you have to do that?
I don't know. It's not good. It's not a good look. It's not a good look at all.
It really isn't. And honestly, I thought you should probably send Angie's responses. You should probably send the $600 to the other people who are claiming that you owe them money. I didn't say you owed me any money, and my salon is not dusty. Your products are, though, because they've been sitting here for 2 years.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought that was a good response.
for sure.
Lisa couldn't let that go. So then she has to come back again. Well, at least I don't have to borrow money to take vacations and pay it back after using a card I should have never used to begin with. And she's like, I have no idea what she's talking about.
Yeah, that sounds like a lie to me. It doesn't seem to me like Sean and Angie are hurting at all.
No, it doesn't. And then Heather's like, well, what could that possibly be? Like, and this is what I think. I think it's going to come up again because Heather's asking these questions. Like, I think that Heather knows what it is. I think Heather knows what it is.
Well, I'm sure she does.
I think
She
that,
probably does.
I think that Lisa already had this conversation with Heather. I think when Heather was
Exactly.
sitting there, she knew that this was coming. Angie's like, I thought, we left on a great note. And Heather's like, I thought you did also. But obviously, no. I mean,
No.
listen, if I was Angie at this point, I would just coexist with her and I wouldn't engage. That's what I would
Yeah,
do.
but the thing is with Lisa, if you don't engage, she'll come up with something. She'll say something. She'll do something.
Yeah. I don't know.
think. I don't know. But the next thing that happens is just,
Whitney meets up with Brittany at the plant store.
yeah, I mean, they they apologize to each other, which is great.
Right,
But
right.
Whitney trying to explain to Brittany that her daughter just wants to be a priority, and Brittany's not, like, she can't grasp it, man.
No.
She can't grasp it at all. Like, maybe just take a step back from what is his name?
Jared.
Jared?
Yeah, Jared.
And she's like, oh, I don't know if I could do that.
I know.
I mean, she's very codependent, very needy on a man.
Yeah, I think that's why her kids don't talk to her. I think that's why, her kids don't want to have anything to do with her.
Yeah. But I think we talked about it last season. Like, I guess when you're Mormon, part of that is, growing up thinking that your your worth comes from being a wife.
Right. Right.
More so than being a mom, it seems, right?
Yeah.
But man, like, you gotta break out of that. You're gonna, I mean, God forbid, you don't want to lose your relationship with your kids altogether. I guess they live with their dad.
They must.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they must, is my thought. I mean, even when Whitney tells her that, for her daughter, she should try, like, even like 30 days, like, Brittany's like, well, that's a big ask.
Yeah, that's a big ask.
I'm like, what? 30 days? Whitney has to explain to her that her daughter should come first, even as an adult. And by the way, her daughter's not an adult. Her daughters are young.
I know. That's what's
She's-
sad.
Yeah, she's not an adult. Whitney goes on to, like she's had ups and downs with her mom and, she still loved her mom. Like she still talked to her mom.
But any grown woman who stands up in a group of women and is like, but guys, what about me? You have to think that maybe she has a hard time seeing past herself.
Oh my God. I mean, when you look up narcissist in the dictionary, it is her picture. It is
Yeah.
100% her picture.
Yeah. So, this is who we're talking about. But her poor daughters.
I know. I feel bad for them. I really do.
Yeah.
So then we see, another tough scene. Bronwyn and her mom, Muzzy, are talking.
What did you think about the whole thing when her daughter and the boyfriend said they were going bowling? And she's like, no, they're not. No, they're not. So what do they just go like hang out by themselves somewhere?
Something. Yeah. They kind of admitted it to her is what she said. She's like, they said that they're in a bowling league. And I was like, there's no bowling leagues around here. It's just, they do something every Wednesday, whatever it is. It's not bowling, but it's their private time together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bronwyn says to her mom after they leave and they have that whole conversation, can you imagine if I asked you if my boyfriend could move in here when I was her age? And Muzzy said, well, it wouldn't happen. This is just heartbreaking for me to really watch what Bronwyn has to go through with her mother.
Yeah.
I mean, in her confessional, she says, Gwen is close to the same age as she was when she got pregnant. And having her mother there judging her the way she parents Gwen is bringing back how she felt when she was pregnant with Gwen way back when. And we hear the story at the Gap, and I'm just like, you have got to be kidding me.
Yeah, like she basically told the sales lady she's not buying anything for that grandchild. This I'm buying for my other daughter's kid. And the salesperson's like, do you want to get some? No.
Like, how can you be that way? Like, I don't get it.
When Gwen, so her mother said that Gwen is following Bronwyn's example, and she wasn't saying it in a nice way, that's for sure.
No.
And then Muzzy says Bronwyn's way of parenting doesn't work. So Bronwyn says, well, did your way of parenting work?
Right.
Like the mother is insisting that tough love is the only way. But it didn't work. Like, I'm not saying that Bronwyn having Gwen was a mistake. I would never say a surprise for sure.
Yeah.
But your way of parenting, you were trying so hard to prevent something from happening that happened anyway. So clearly your way of parenting didn't work. It might have worked for your other children, but we say that all the time. You can't parent all your kids the same way.
No, you can't.
But this woman is awful.
No, she really is. I mean, the point Bronwyn was making is like, your biggest concern was like, you didn't want me having sex. And, newsflash, well, I did have sex and I wound up having a baby by myself. And Muzzy's like, but never once did I think that you would, drink alcohol, have sex, premarital sex, smoke. I would never think, because you were taught not to do those things. So why would you do those things? Wait, what?
Yeah.
It
must be nice living in that fairy tale you live in, Muzzy. My God. And then she says, like, she's trying to explain to her mother, like, how awful her pregnancy experience was, really.
Right.
And her mother says, did you ever think about how horrible it was for me?
Yes. Another narcissist. Another narcissist. Seriously.
We went through it with my family. I mean, of course, then it was a lot different. It's not like today. But, of course, parents were going to be disappointed if something like this happened. They were going to be scared, really, because the disappointment only comes from fear that their kid's not going to be able to do this, right?
Right. Right.
I mean, I can't even the woman's horrible. She's just horrible.
She really is. And she doesn't even see it because, like you said, it was all about her.
Yeah.
I taught you this. Of course you're going to do this. Well, okay, you had a horrible. Well, how do you think I mean, how do you think it was for me? I was embarrassed, ashamed. We had to hide you. Wait, what? How did this become about you?
Then what she says about foster care, if she didn't watch her, is that what she said? If she didn't watch Gwen, she would have wound up in foster care. And Brahman's
Yep.
like, no, I would have gotten another job.
Right.
I'm so sorry that you had to help out. And, I mean, listen, it's not the most ideal situation, but this is what you do for your kids if you have the means to. You should be thankful you had the means. A lot of people can't help their children like this, but want to.
Right. No,
They
absolutely.
have to work. They're not
Right.
available to watch their grandkids, but they
Yeah.
wish they were.
Exactly. She made it sound like, and this is where Gwen was like, she made it sound like she was just dropping Gwen off and going out and partying.
Right.
And Braun was like, listen, I was at work. I mean, what are you talking about?
She's very narrow-minded, this woman.
Yeah.
And then she says, just because I don't say you're so wonderful doesn't mean I don't think it. Like, basically, she doesn't want Brahman to think she's too good.
And she even said that.
She's horrendous. She needs to get her mother out of that house immediately.
I know.
I can't believe she even let her move in.
So, and then Muzzy even says to her, well, you never wanted her to be adopted. It was always, I'm keeping her. Okay. So what is wrong with that?
Right.
She wanted to keep her.
Horrible.
It was horrible. Honestly, it was very hard to watch.
Very hard to watch.
I mean, this is the 4th episode. I don't even want to see her the rest of the season.
No, me neither. I really hope we don't see a lot of her at all.
It's bad. It's really bad. I feel so much empathy for Bronwyn for having to have grown up with this, and now at this point in her life, I don't know.
I know. It's like you can't even find words.
No, yeah, I don't know. Okay, then we see Meredith and Angie go out for coffee, and Angie's telling Meredith what happened with Lisa and the assistant coming to pick up, the Fresh Wolf products. And, then she gets the mean text message. And of course, Meredith knew about this, I'm sure. Meredith's response is, well, perhaps she needs a little grace because of everything that ties back to the kids.
It was about the kids.
I mean, we get a little aggressive when it's about our kids. Wait, no. Come on. You're the one who made it about the kids.
Yeah, because it wasn't about the kids. It was about the fact that Lisa was peddling some other product and not her own kid's product.
Right.
So it wasn't about the kids. It was about Lisa's behavior.
Yeah. But then Angie brings up, listen, I don't want to hurt you, but at a time when you and I were really not that good, Lisa was calling me and encouraging me to dig up information about family members and relatives of yours. Listen, I don't think Angie's saying this unless that she has receipts for it.
No, I totally believe you. I mean, I totally agree. I wrote the same thing. I don't personally agree with Angie doing this. I think this is very messy.
Well, I do
However, I don't think Angie would have said anything if it weren't true. She must have receipts.
That's my thought. I think it's messy. I don't agree with it either. I think it's, not necessary.
Especially when Meredith says, I have to say something. And Angie's like, absolutely. Like, not a hesitation. So for sure, I believe this is true.
And I believe she has, like I said, the receipts to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm so honestly sick of this. I can't. But I think Meredith and Lisa are still good today.
Yeah. That was one other thing Andy asked Mary on Watch What Happens Live. He said, did you see the meme of, the picture of you looking at Bronwyn at that girl's house? I forget her name, at that party when Bronwyn was
Amy.
Amy.
Socialite Amy.
Eating Lisa up, going at her. And Mary said, of course I saw it. And he said, what was going through your mind? She said, get her, Bronwyn. So I don't, I forget how close Mary and Angie are, which is probably why Mary would feel that way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
let's face it, Mary's been on the show since the beginning, so she's well aware of Lisa's MO.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, that's where it ends on the show, but then we see scenes for next week and all the ladies are sitting down at a table and yelling and screaming at each other.
Great.
I'm
Can't wait.
like
I know.
it's like we can't go one episode without them all yelling and screaming at each other. I don't know. I just want this to get better. I seriously do. I don't want it to be so much screaming and yelling.
I just feel like we need a new playbook, guys. Producers of all these shows, we need a new playbook. I just don't want to see the constant fighting. All of them are now.
I agree.
Potomac, I'm hopeful, but already Kiarna's starting with Wendy. Like, it's just nonsense. It's nonsense. And they're all like that right now.
I know. We need to find a little light.
Yes, let's see some fun.
Yes, that's what I want. I want fun. All right, we'll have to wait and see what happens, what they're fighting about next week.
Right.
I guess until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please give us 5-star reviews and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.